Hello?
Sylvia heard a hesitant female voice on the phone.
Can I talk to Caleb?
He's not home. I'm his mother. Can I take a message?
Please tell him it's okay with me, and it's going to be a boy.
What? What boy? Who are you? A few minutes later, Sylvia found out that the girl's name was Brooke, and that she had dated Sylvia's son last year, and now she was expecting a baby from him. Brooke assured Sylvia that she had no claims to Caleb and that she had decided to give birth on her own and did not count on any help.
Don't scold Caleb, please. It's not his fault. Just tell him it will be a boy. He asked to be told when the ultrasound will tell. Thank you. Bye.
And the young woman hung up. Sylvia's husband, as he heard the news, paced around the room in a frenzy. Let him get married, made a baby, and run away. Did we bring up such a scoundrel? But Sylvia tried to defend her son. No, he's still 2 years away from his graduation. He's still a child himself, and this girl just turned 18. Already that evening, the son told his parents that he and Brooke had only dated for a couple of months, and that she had told him about the pregnancy a month ago. I didn't promise her anything. We didn't talk about getting married at all. We went out for a while, and then we split up. The guy made excuses to his parents. Mom, I offered her an abortion, but she's Rh negative, so she might not have a baby at all. And anyway, she really wants a baby. What does this have to do with me? Sylvia was silent, not knowing what to say. What could she and her husband do? Insist on marriage? But what was the point? The son doesn't love this girl, and no man has yet been kept by children. So even if they get married, they'll be divorced in 2 years at the most. When Sylvia asked if her son knew her parents and if there was anyone to help with the baby, it turned out to be even worse. Brooke's mother was an alcoholic. During the period of her enlightenment, she was getting a job, dressing nicely, doing her makeup, and starting to actively look for a partner, and each new man she declared as Brooke's father. And then the period of uninterrupted partying would begin, again, with no end in sight. Sylvia immediately assumed that Brooke had calculated everything, and with the help of her child, she just wanted to get away from such a good-for-nothing mother and go straight to a new normal family. But Caleb interrupted her, saying that Brooke no longer lived with her mother because she had a small apartment that was inherited from her grandmother. Anyway, I'm not going to marry her, and that's it, Caleb said, and left the room. 3 months passed. Brooke never called again, and everyone stubbornly pretended that nothing had happened. One day, Caleb asked, Mom, we don't turn on the second TV at all. Can I take it away? What do you need it for? Asked surprised Sylvia. I want to take it to Brooke. She had an old one but broke it. I helped her throw it away yesterday. Brooke? Did she give birth? The mother asked in surprise. Yes, she named the baby Mark. The son took the TV away, but Sylvia was thinking about the baby all the time now. She talked to her husband that evening, and they decided to visit the young woman, because Brooke and Caleb's relationship was their business, but the baby was still their grandson. Not taking the risk of showing up with a surprise, Sylvia called Brooke. The woman was surprised, but she said that she would be happy to see them. Before their visit, Caleb's parents stopped at the store to buy Brooke groceries, things, and toys for the baby. At the door of the apartment, Sylvia hesitated, but her husband calmed her down by saying that they would just look at the baby, give Brooke all the purchases, and that was it. In fact, this might be their first and last meeting. Brooke turned out to be short, a little plump girl with a pleasant and open face. The kettle was already boiling in the kitchen. There was a plate with pancakes on the table. She led them into the room where the baby was sleeping quietly. At the sight of a puffy, red-faced baby, all Sylvia's doubts fell away at once. The baby was very much like little Caleb at that age. Over tea, Brooke told about herself. After school, she graduated from courses and even managed to work as a hairdresser. You know, I am not offended by Caleb. As soon as I found out about the baby, I knew at once that I would keep it. So what if I am young? The baby will have a good mother because I started loving him while he was still in my belly. And what do you live on? Asked Sylvia. I'm getting an allowance for the baby. Don't think I don't need anything from you. When my son grows up, I will go to work, and he will go to kindergarten. In addition, I have savings. I was saving a little while I worked. I bought a crib with that money and a stroller. Look, all new and very nice. At that moment, Mark screamed, and the girl rushed to the baby. Sylvia looked around. There was an old couch in the room. On the walls were shelves of books, an old-fashioned sideboard in the corner. This furniture had probably been bought in her grandmother's time. Then Brooke returned with the baby. The grandfather took his grandson in his arms, and Sylvia began to show Brooke everything they had bought for the baby. When there were groceries left at the bottom of the bag, the woman told Brooke to take it to the fridge. I don't have it. The young woman was embarrassed. But that's okay. If something spoils quickly, I put it on the balcony while it's freezing outside. See, there's a special box over there. When it was time to say goodbye, Sylvia kissed her grandson and left the apartment. She got into the car, and the husband asked, "To the store?" Sylvia nodded, and they drove to buy a new refrigerator. The woman really liked Brooke. Neither poverty nor her alcoholic mother broke her. Sylvia didn't know how her life would turn out next, but she really wanted to help her and become a loving grandmother to Mark.